Our guest tonight is a young lady named Grace Graber. She is a musician because God used music to literally save her life. That's right, Poe. A couple tunes a day will keep the doctor away. And I, too, am living proof of that because God used music to help heal me from a brain tumor. Well, Grace is going to join us in just a few moments and share her testimony and her music with us. Grace, it is just so good to have you on the show, even though I misspelled your last name in the email that I sent to you inviting.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Yes, I love it.
You were so very gracious to me. And
you're not the only one who's ever mispronounced my name or misspelt it. It's I'm like, it's better for me to go hey, that's wrong than not say anything at all. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it. Well, I need some new ones of these. I'm a little bit older. The reason why I wanted to bring you on is I absolutely love your testimony, and I want you to share that with our audience, how you're a musician today because God used music to keep you alive. It literally saved your life. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So when I was 12 years old, I was physically and verbally assaulted as a teenage girl in middle school by other girls. So I was bullied real bad. And I essentially had undiagnosed PTSD at the time because of it. And I became suicidal, and this Hawk Nelson song stopped me from committing suicide. And so I know that I do know very closely the power of music because I get all the time can I let my cat out? 1 second.
Sure. Yeah. We're going to let the cat out. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Hawk Nelson song quite literally saved my life. And I get asked all the time, how did a song save your life? What was said? And it was it's not that it was what was said. It's not that it was essentially that people were there for me when I needed them to be there for me, when I felt like no one actually loved me or believed in me. A song said, "Hey, you're not alone," and it was a prayer for me. And so I get all the time too, Hawk Nelson didn't save your life. Jesus saved your life. It's well, to be completely frank with you, Hawk Nelson stopped me from making a mistake and introduced me to a savior who fixes all mistakes. And so I really do, I really do want to honor that part for them. I know, I know I don't owe them anything, but I think it's kind of really cool to now be in a spot where I'm in the public eye, and it's I get to sit in front of, John or Jason and go, hey, this is look at what God's doing. And it's just wild, and it baffles me that I get to be the next generation of that and do that for someone else. And so that's kind of the gist of the story is a song stopped me from taking my own life. And then I would go to these underground rock concerts and I'd meet these bands that I would listen to, and they were so nice to me, but the people who knew me wanted to hurt me. And that's truly how I discovered who Jesus was, by the fact that these guys would just take time out of their lives to hang out with us kids. And I thought they were the coolest things ever. And I would watch their video blogs and I mean, it's kind of creepy, but they were like my only friend, you know, like they were my friends that like just made me not feel alone. The posters on my wall, like they were the people that I could talk to. Unfortunately, like it's sad, but I think it's really cool and redemptive that like now, you know, like now my worship pastor, who's one of those lead singers from Run Kid Run, you know, like he's here and like in my life today, and I can talk to him. And same goes for the Hawk guys. Like one of the drummers is one of my drummers now, and it's just really cool.
It's so cool. Yeah,
I know. That is so good.
I can relate to what you're saying. Because if you go back into the archives, we've been doing this for a while here. I am a brain tumor survivor, and it was
my gosh.
Yes, it was music that God used to heal me, and that's the whole reason why we're doing this. So I know 100% what you're saying is that music is a tool, and God uses vessels like He did with you, Hawk Nelson, to keep you alive, so that you can minister to other people today.
No, absolutely, and like. I just like think it's like the coolest thing that God thought of me to do this. Yes. You know what I mean? Like how He thought of you to do what you're doing. And like, it's like he would take the moment like out of this whole, you know, being God thing, and He'd go, I know how much that'd mean to Grace. Let me just like spark a music career and like you know, and like find more people through it. Like the coolest part is like I talk with Hawk Nelson fans all the time. This is the coolest part. It's like I get DMs of the photos they took with them, and it's like I'm not them. But I had their merch company give me stickers from their early Hawk Nelson days, and like you know, like people. It's like he thought of me for that. Like that just means so much because it does. Like that was a huge part of my life. Yep. So yeah.
Yep. It's amazing how God just personalizes things. He knows those times. And this is not just something that happened to Grace with her situation with being bullied and the PTSD, and my situation with the brain tumor. He desires to do this for everybody. And you just have to be in that position to be humble to receive it. And look at what you're doing now. You are in the forefront. You are ministering to others. Have you had any testimonies from people that listen to your music or have gone to your shows, how it has helped them?
I like legit had like my first, like, I felt like my first real one. It's probably not like like I've had people, you know, message me all the time saying like my music is saving their life, or like, you know, it's like, and that's like awesome. But like, this one was really real for me. It like kind of like kicked me in the face a little bit. I show up to a show, like last week I was in North Carolina. This happened just really recently, so it's super fresh on my brain. And I'm like playing, and I notice out in the crowd, there's one girl, and she's like singing every word. She's like into it, and it's like, oh, that's cool. She knows who I am. And you think because it's my show, they would, you know who I am going in. But I take a bunch of pictures, do the whole thing. I'm walking to the back to just like catch my breath, and she like runs in front of me, and she's like, you saved my life, and just started like bawling. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do this now, you know, like, okay, yeah, okay, honey, like, what's going on? She goes, she was like crying, I didn't even know you were gonna be here. Like, my dad brought me, and I thought it was just like an outing, and I was kind of dreading it. But essentially the week before, she was hospitalized for an eating disorder. And her friend came and just turned on some music while they were hanging out. And whatever song was playing, and it was my favorite part, it was just start playing. It wasn't like her friend was like, check this out. It was, she just put on music, and my song came up, and she goes, what is this? And her friend's like, oh, it's Grace Graber. And, you know, my favorite part, it's a cool song. And she listened to the lyrics, and she was like, I need to stay. Like, this is life or death for me, being in this hospital room. But what was the craziest thing was she told me, I didn't even know you're going to be here. So the week before she was hospitalized, we went to go take a photo. She goes, this is actually my first photo since getting out of the hospital.
Wow.
You know, like, wow. It was like, oh, I think this is pretty real today. Like, okay. And then, but like, you know, just to see the emotion, and like when I see that emotion in fans, it makes me like think about how like emotional like I used to get in front of Hawk Nelson. I mean, I don't get that emotional anymore, luckily. Like I'm able to like hold a entire conversation and and like keep my composure, but like I look at just like, man, just like the like it's not defeat, but it's also like you can tell she's experienced defeat
Mhm.
and is like come on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And like it just like that vulnerability you feel standing in front of an artist like that. Like no, I've done that many times. And in fact, I sat in front of John the other day, like we got coffee, and I'm like talking to him about all these cool things that are happening. And like he has been so consistent like in my life, and I'm so grateful like that my heroes are actually like really cool people. But like, you know, he's like sitting across from me, and I'm like, this career for me is a matter of life or death. And I'm sitting across from him, kind of feeling the same like emotions like I would feel as a teen, like just welding up of like, this isn't just a, ooh, I'm your biggest fan. This is like,
Right.
I could have died and here we are. It's not idolization. There's
No.
no way to put your finger on it. It's this intense respect.
That's what I was going to say. Respect. Yeah. Yeah.
Respect and this fear of God. Honestly, like this fear of like, man, like that is something holy.
Mhm.
Like there's something so holy about that meet up and like her coming to me. And then I got to call Daniel, who he essentially originally wrote the chorus and pitched it to me. And I begged him to be on it. I was like, you need to do this with me. Like, this is going to save lives. Like, let's do it together. And we FaceTimed him and he got to see. And like, I I've had moments like that with fans, but that one was like the first, okay, this is happening.
It's
And with
real. You are being used as a vessel now, a vessel of grace. And I want you to think of this is that all of the trauma that you went through while you were in high school, all of the pain, all of the suffering, all of the loneliness, all that stuff God has used to break you, to get you to this point so that you can just pour out grace into other people's lives. I mean, your name, I'm big on names, you know,
well,
it's just
my middle
so
name's
fitting.
Nicole, so it means God's favor is the victory of the people.
Wow, I love
And guess
it.
what my last name means? It means gravedigger.
I did not know that.
So my name, I'm like so into that kind of stuff. Like my name, like this, all of this does like this all makes sense, but it also all is like there is no possible flipping way. This is not God because it's like all too good. I'm literally living in a too good to be true like God moment in my life right now where it's like, oh, okay, like okay, you know, like oh yeah, I'll say yes to that.
Let's take a listen to a track. I love this song. It's entitled Run. I have to bring my quirky co host on. There he is. He's getting his running shoes. And he looks like
Shut
he is
up.
having an aversion to those. He's kicking those away. Doesn't like them too much.
That's funny.
That's Poe. He's got his own studio and he's got all sorts of tricks under that desk. Um, what is this song Run about?
Run. I wrote that. So I wrote it. I was just starting to do music, like just starting to write music and actually take it seriously because there was a season in my life. Well, I got in a car accident when I first got married. And after like before that car accident, I was told I'd never make it. You know, like I'd always been writing songs my entire life. Like I learned how to sing to Jason Dunn's voice. I learned how to write by just mimicking Hawk Nelson songs. And I grieved when I went to college. Like I didn't make the worship team. I didn't I didn't fit in. I was always the oddball out. And like we were in a car accident that I lost my ability to like pick up the guitar for months.
Ooh.
And so I kind of was like, this is not happening. Like I grieved ever having a career in that. And I went to beauty school to pursue a career in aesthetics. God says, I'm establishing that career so you can pursue music. I go, okay, whatever. Like, I don't know what that means. But essentially, I wrote a jingle for the spa that I work for, which is how I got into music. So I had just come off of that trip. I like won the songwriting contest for the spa and like, oh my gosh, he's opening the doors to music. I had just met like a producer, someone I grew up listening to, and like it was like, I think this is happening. And so there was a point when we were doing that, and when like when I was just starting, but we were praying about moving to Nashville, there was like a midpoint where I was like, man, this moment in life, I'm breathing it in the same as the day I began to run to you. Like I like your name. Like I just like knew, like, it's like I have to rely on the Lord in this season. I have to like always put my focus back on him, by golly. And I remember just being so anxious and going for a run and like just thinking your name, I'm breathing in it the same as the day I began to run to you. Like, and I got done with that run and I went and sat down and wrote a song.
Momentum's killing me with questions in my brain, and I look to see how long this smile will take. Is it a waste of my time if I stop? Will I lose all the progress I got? 'Cause every day I need you, I can't
We've talked about grace with your name, and we've talked about your testimony of grace. What would you, or how would you explain grace to somebody in our audience who doesn't know what God's grace is? How would you
Yeah.
explain that to them?
Grace is favor. Grace is blessings that don't make sense. Blessings that if you added up X, Y, and Z, it equals A. What? There's so many parts of my life where I see the favor of the Lord. My job, letting me tour, is one of them. The favor of the Lord of like social media, that's favor. It's always something like there's no way your effort could have done that. No way. And so that is what grace is, and that is what is extended to us.
Yeah, it's so very important. It's one of those things. A lot of times, a lot of people will say to me, "Oh, wow, how did you do that? That is, so awesome what you did." And I'm like, "Yeah, I felt like a pig on roller skates doing it. I don't know how I did it."
I'm just a girl. Like I don't. Yeah, no, favor is me meeting up with my heroes. One of my heroes, I don't know if you remember the band Philmont, but Josiah Prince was in Philmont. He's in Disciple now, but I don't know anything about Disciple. I know everything about Philmont. But it's like favor is the fact that like I get to get in the room with him and share what if we turned things punk?
Yeah.
And just like, are you cool with that? And him going, you know what? I've got the time, and sitting down and working on that with me. Like that's fate. Like that like just doesn't make sense, Like it's just like, okay, like that's cool. Like that was just an idea I had, fine,
Yeah.
But
first of all, to be able to speak to him, it's that
oh my
door
gosh,
that God opens. Yeah.
Literally, I don't even. Yeah, just like anything with like the fact that like the Hawk Nelson guys are like in my life now, and I feel like I can call them is crazy cool. And like that in itself it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. But it's their fault. So yeah. This is kind of all their fault. It's kind of all the Lord's fault. I tell that to the Lord all the time. I'm like, you kind of made this happen, so you gotta keep it up, dude. Like, so if it's your will.
There is some truth to that, is that there are times where God calls you to a thing, and it's like, okay, God, you've called me to this.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you are going to supply the health that I need. You're going to supply the finances that I need. And there's nothing wrong with, it's not that he's forgotten it, but it's that you are speaking the truth that he is going to do that you're coming into agreement that he's going to do those things for you.
Well, he doesn't want to embarrass us. I think that's like something like people get really, when they start like really, really praying and like praying for a specific outcome and stuff, it's like, they don't want to be embarrassed. Like, I've prayed prayers where it's like, I just don't want to be embarrassed. Like, and what I've noticed is the Lord never wants to embarrass us, and he never wants to abuse us. Like, he is not an abusive father. So the more, and this is written on a little sticky note, that I love, the more that we understand the sovereignty of God, the less we ask why things happen the way they do. And that's something I've had in my own faith walk, is like, I don't understand why things happen the way they do. I just know like he's doing something and it will make sense. And I think that's like a hard reality for, like, that's faith. And faith is hard. Like
it is. It's not easy at all. And the things that God does and the way that he works it, he's got this huge, infinite 300,000 foot view that our finite minds can't comprehend.
Totally. Like one of my team members, he always, like, whenever I'm like worked up about something, he always goes, go 3,000 feet up and look at it, like, look at that. And it's like, I know, I get it, but still, like, like, it's like, but it's the reality is he does have that perspective. And I think it's, what got us in the garden in the first place is knowledge. So I think it's like that knowledge piece that is hard. We want that.
Yes. Yeah, we do. We do. We want to know it all, and we're not equipped to know it all. We haven't been built that way. We have to just trust the Lord who is
No, in
equipped
fact,
to
it's
know
killing
it all.
us.
Before we close, I want to talk about one of your core beliefs, and that is that mental health and faith are not merely coexisting things, but they are
Mhm.
very strongly intertwined. They're combined. What do you mean by that? And how can we help people understand that faith and mental health are two things that truly go together?
Yeah, well, purpose. Like, we're all looking for purpose. We're all chasing after a reason we exist. And faith is honestly, yeah, it's the evidence of things unseen. Like, like faith is there for when we might not understand what that actually looks like. Faith is relying on the not just us, ourselves. And I think that's hard because mental health is so personal. And so it
Yes.
allows us, faith allows us to step out of our 300 square feet into the 300,000 square feet view. It allows us to have grace for ourselves. Faith adds an element when it comes to mental health. And I think faith makes mental health struggles make sense. I'm just going to keep real because sometimes a lot of the mental health struggles can be tied spiritually,
Yeah.
and they can be tied to a couple other things as well that you need faith in order to get through that. So
Yeah.
faith and mental health intertwine because God's like active currently in the
Yes.
mental health epidemic. And it's just that was, you sent me that question and I thought, I was like, that is a hard one because I do not have all of the answers, and people ask me about mental health stuff all the time. I don't have the answers, but I have a story.
Yes.
And so like all I point is like faith and mental health. Think of baby Grace, like her weeping on the floor, and then think of adult Grace like sitting up straight, with those same people. Like
Yes.
I just like there is so much evidence I feel like in my life of why I still believe. Um and so it's stepping back and looking at the favor that has happened,
Yeah.
and looking at a bigger view, because it's easy. I feel like people who struggle with mental health, it's easy for you to get into a loop, or for you to feel like no one will understand, and that's what our Savior is there to do, is to
Mhm.
sit with you in the loop and understand, and also to stop that loop and
Yeah.
get you to step outside of that a little bit. And because I will tell you something, this might be a little controversial, but I meet people all the time who I truly feel like it's like where it's just the same loop over and over again.
Mhm.
I'm not
Yep.
saying they're keeping themselves sick or anything, but it's like there was a point in my life, actually, I feel like right before music, where I had to ask myself, do I actually want healing?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
do I actually want to be free? Or am I going to play the victim for myself? like, and I think I realized, like, I think I actually like want to feel better. Like, I feel like I don't want to be the victim anymore. And it's not that like I'm not saying at all people are, keeping themselves a victim or anything like that. But there comes a point where it's like help is so close and it's so near. And it's kind of like almost like a popular thing to struggle with your mental health now on social media and
Mm.
stuff. So my encouragement is do not consume that kind of media. Do not consume those things that aren't encouraging you to freedom,
Yeah.
essentially. Sorry, that took a strong turn,
No,
but
absolutely. No,
it felt on
that's
my heart. It's like
yeah.
it's so easy to go, but my trauma, and I did that all the time. My trauma, like, But girlfriend, like the Lord says otherwise in so many capacities. And unless your like doctor is going, yeah, you need to like, you're struggling with this hardcore. Like it's like we have the ability to go, I get to decide to step out and get healing and touch the cloak. The woman had to go and touch the cloak before she touched it to be healed. She had to. She might have, it's like she was struggling with her own thing, but
and it was by faith that she touched Jesus'
yeah,
Jesus' garment.
She didn't even know it was going to work. She got up the strength to just go get some healing. She didn't even know if the healing was going to happen. How many times in our world is that going to happen? Like where we're offered the ability to do that.
Yeah.
Are you going to sit and like try to make an effort towards that? And because we don't know if healing's going to come. So I applaud the people who do get up every single day, who do try to touch the cloak. And even if they aren't healed, they do it again the next day and the next day. And there's so many people like that as well. There's people who will keep themselves there. There's people who are begging every single day, living in torment. And I think like, I will never understand why God has decided whatever. But what I do know is at the end of it all, we get to live freely in heaven with him because we've decided that's who our Savior is. And so I'm encouraged by that freedom, but I think it's hard nowadays with social media. We can consume things that will convince us that that we need more. More. Like, I don't even know how to describe it.
It can lead us down a very dark path in our minds. It's all a battle of the mind. And I want to close with this, because as I was thinking about faith being intertwined with mental health, when you take a look at the crucifixion of Jesus, the account of that, he was crucified on a place that was named Golgotha, which in Hebrew means the skull. So he shed his blood on the skull and was showing us that this is a battle of the mind. Everything God did, everything that Jesus did when he was here on earth was purposeful. And we see that so clearly in the epistles of the Apostle Paul, where he talks about having a sound mind and the things that we should think upon. And really, Jesus demonstrated that this whole journey of faith is about our minds. And that's what the devil is trying to steal.
Like literally, he's trying to like steal it. He wants us to feel stuck because he's stuck.
There you have it.
Let me preach for 2 seconds.
Go for it.
He wants you to feel stuck because he's stuck. He wants you to think freedom is this, that, and this, and you're chasing everything around your tail. Because guess what? Freedom is all he has here. All he has is what the world is given. That's the only freedom he has. So he doesn't want you to think freedom is beyond what the world can give you, because that is the only freedom he has. Oh my gosh. Your people feel stuck in that loop because literally that is a tactic. That is a tactic. So
Grace, thank you so much for joining us. And hey, where can people get a copy of the EP? What's the best place to bless you for them to go get it?
Yeah, anywhere, honestly. Like my website, gracegraber.com. You can look me up, Grace Graber Music. And I'm literally everywhere all the time. So
well, there you have it. And we'll put those links down below. And until next week, everybody, peace out and rock on.
Lithoscry.com